it's Miss Veronica with Girls Inc. of Chicago. I hope everyone's staying safe and staying inside and finding good ways to have a good time with people that we are at home with. This is my dog Katsu. He'll be my assistant right now. I wanted to show you an activity that I came up with when I was realizing since we're all staying at home, we can't hang out with our friends like we usually do. And that means we can't go to our friends' birthday parties. So my friend loves unicorns and her birthday is coming up. So I came up with the idea of creating a unicorn pinata, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it. So the supplies we need are a stencil of a unicorn. We don't have to make a unicorn pinata. You can draw your own stencil. I'll leave you a link below with a stencil that I drew of a unicorn. I know it just looks like a funny pony right now, but I'm thinking we'll add the cone afterwards. So we have a stencil of whatever we're making into a pinata. This is going to be a video on how to do a unicorn. So this is my drawing you can find below. We need some tape. We have scissors and a bunch of cardboard that we're going to collect. We want that cardboard that's kind of thin, like a cereal box. So this one's real thin, kind of floppy, doesn't have all the bumps and ridges in between, so we can cut it really easily and make our design. I think we'll start out with some of these here. We also, if we have any tissue paper, I just happen to have gold and white tissue paper at home. You can also use newspaper and just color it or leave it the way it is. I think it would look really funky and cool with newspaper or magazines. We also always want to reuse items that we're going to throw away or recycle if we can. So I have these napkins from takeout that I'm going to color with some markers to make them rainbow for the unicorn's hair. And last thing we need is some glue. Toilet paper roll I'm going to use for the cone, but if you don't have that, you can also just use part of the other cardboard that you have left over. So first step, we are going to take our stencil and we're going to cut it out. There's our little pony without its horn. So next we want to find a piece of cardboard that's big enough for our pony, and I'm going to place that down and trace it out with a marker. Here is my drawing. I'm going to cut that out, but here's a trick. If you have a really big piece of cardboard, you can either trace it 2 times or you can fold over the top of your drawing like this. And that way, when you cut it out, it'll come out 2 times. So I challenge you to try it if you're confident, if you have strong scissors, okay? There we go. We have two little ponies that are going to turn into our piñata for the body of our unicorn. So the shiny side, I think that the glue won't stick as well too, so we're going to keep the shiny side down for now, okay? And we need to connect these, right? So we can have like 3D, so right now they're flat. So let's figure out how to connect them. What we want to do is we're gonna have our tape and we're gonna cut more cardboard. We want long strips of cardboard that are gonna be all the same width now. And that's gonna connect our 2 pieces. So go ahead and you can use the same cardboard you've been using, or you could use a new one. I'm gonna keep using this one because it has a lot more left, and I just wanna show you how we can use all that up. So here we go. I think like how far you want your 2 pieces to be apart is how thick and how wide you want your strips to be. And the strips have to go all the way around. So think about the perimeter, and that's a word that means the length of the outside of a shape. So the perimeter is long. So we're gonna need to go all along that with our strips. So the first strip, just make sure that it is kind of square on the bottom. So I made that kind of square and flat. And then we're going to cut a long, long strip and try and keep it straight. A way you can keep it straight is you take this and you're going to fold it over so that the 2 ends line up perfectly. And if you follow that perfect line, then you'll have a pretty straight rectangle, as opposed to like sometimes when you're cutting something thick, it gets all wobbly. So I'm just gonna crease it there so we can see how to keep it kind of the same width. Okay, now open it up, you see your crease, and you're gonna cut along that crease. And then you just know that this is how wide the other strips have to be. Okay, and that one has a little crooked piece on the end. I'm gonna cut that off. And it has like some leftover paper. I'm just gonna pull that off with my fingers. Okay, so you have this, and let's start looping it around the outside and see how far we get. So here we go. I have this piece. I'm gonna put it this way because we're gonna glue it this, tape it this way. And then let's bend it around. So that goes like all the way down to the bottom of the leg almost. So we definitely need more. So I drew it the same width, and let's just cut that out. We have this shape that we made that can go around the head like that. And that's like the front of the body, right? So we're gonna take that and we're gonna start at where the head meets the back here. And we're gonna start taping that off. So that's how it looks. Can you see that? So from the front it's like this. Okay, and we're gonna keep going with all of our pieces. So now is the time I'm gonna put, if we want any candy inside or any toys, then I'm gonna put little surprises inside. So we'll put some of those in the middle. Okay, and now we just have to tape on the other side of our pony. Put on like that. Okay, so that's pretty taped together. So here are all my candies rolling around inside. Let's turn this pony into a unicorn. Take our toilet paper roll. And cut it open. And then we're going to start rolling it into a point at one of the tops. So that's how that's looking there. So that. Okay. Now we're gonna super duper tape this. I'm excited about that. Okay, so do you see how it's like really big for our little unicorn? I'm gonna cut up the side a little bit, and I'm gonna shorten it. You know what? I can even squash this down and shorten it that way. See? So now it's like a little wonky on the bottom where it's like not even. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like kind of crooked. So let's go around and trim it so it's a little bit flatter. Tape it on. Okay, so once it's like pretty stuck on, you can pick it up like this. You know, you did a good job with that tape. So now that we have our unicorn body, we're going to cut strips to make the body white and fluffy like a beautiful, majestic unicorn and like a pinata. So move this candy out of the way. Here's a trick to cutting strips. We're going to fold this tissue paper in half, and then fold it again, and then fold it again. So it should be long like this, and we're going to cut across the short way. I'll show you what we have. Then once you unfold that, you see you have like a long piece without having to go all the way across. Okay? You're going to take one of these that's still folded up, and you're going to do little slits this way. Now be careful with your scissors. And watch your fingers. Don't go all the way through, just part way through. So about halfway through, you're going to make those little slits, okay? And open it up. You've got a little party pinata paper. Okay, so let's do that with the rest of them. Now we are going to start gluing and see if we need any more. I'm going to lay this down, and I'm actually going to start with the feet. And you want the the chopped up bottom, the chopped up part to be the bottom, and I'm gonna glue this around the bottom of the feet. And make sure if you're using this kind of glue to just not squirt out too much at a time. So let's do a line around the top of this. Just a thin line like this. And won't go that much. And so we'll wrap around the bottom of the foot for the leg. Some glue in my hair. Okay, so let's glue it on. And I'm going to chop it off here. And just glue down whatever's sticking up. Now we're going to go along the body. And that's our pinata. We're going to do the same thing for the cone. I think the cone is going to be gold. And there you go. And then we can come back, and I did part of the mane, and I'll show you how I did that. So I ended up just using more white tissue paper and coloring it rainbow colored with my markers here. So I did make sure when I was coloring my tissue paper, since it's so thin, that I absolutely wanted to put down something to protect the table. So I opened up a bag and put it down on the table, so that's when you can get coloring, and I'll show you how I did it here. So you can go ahead and just color it. Okay, so now we've got that rainbow paper, and that's how you do it, okay? So for the top, I just ended up cutting a long strip. And then folded it up like we did for the rest of the body. And then cut carefully halfway through to make it frayed. And then open it up. And then you have a nice frayed edge. And then we're gonna add some glue, and I'll put this piece here down the back. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take with the frayed part pointing up, we're gonna scrunch it up and glue it on to where we put the glue. Okay, and that's going to be part of our mane. So if you do that all along the top, you'll have your mane. And then now let's do the tail. So for the tail, I think I'm going to just cut lots of long strips. And then I'm going to add some glue where I want the tail to go. Not too much because we don't want it to get so soaking, but we want it to stick. So I'm just going to pinch one of the ends of one of my long strips. So I pinched it up so it's got a little point, and then I'm going to stick it to part of the glue. And I'm going to keep doing that with all of my little strips. Okay, and we'll let that dry, and there's our tail. So we've got a long, glamorous tail and a very fluffy mane, okay? So let's set that to the side. And lastly, we're gonna take some of our leftover cardboard and we're going to, I know you guys are so good at coloring and making faces, we're gonna cut out some eyes. And for my eyes, I think I'm going to do one circle eyeball and one kind of moon shape. I'm going to color them in the color that I would like. I'm just gonna do black. And then I'll glue them on where I'd like the eyes to be. So here's my first eyeball. And my other eyeball. There you have it. You have a piñata and you are ready to celebrate and be bold in the face of everything going on. We still want to be ourselves and celebrate everything that we are proud of, knowing that we can do, and enjoying people around us. So have a good day and enjoy your piñata. Thanks. See you next time.